Lesson 1, Salesforce Basics. In this lesson we'll be covering accessing Salesforce, searching within Salesforce, recent items, user menu, profile and setup panel, application menu, app exchange and communities, Salesforce tabs and objects, help and training portal, recycle bin, chatter, chatter feed and chat. Accessing Salesforce. You can access Salesforce from any web browser using any device, and in this tutorial we will be looking at accessing and using Salesforce via a web browser. There is also a mobile app called Salesforce One available for Apple and Android devices, which you can download for free via the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. To start with, let's open up a browser window and type the Salesforce login address into the address bar. This is login.salesforce.com. Once we have entered the login address, we can hit enter on our keypad to open up the Salesforce login page. To log into Salesforce, we need to enter our username and password. Our username is in the format of an email address, and our password is what we selected when activating our Salesforce account. Once we have entered our login details, we can click the Login to Salesforce button. At this point, if you are logging in from a new device, you will be required to enter a verification code, which will either be emailed or sent to you via a text message. This is a security measure and only needs to be done once for each device that you access Salesforce from. Once you have successfully logged in, you will land on the Salesforce homepage, which looks like this. Searching within Salesforce. At the very top of your Salesforce pages, you'll see a search bar. This allows you to search for any records that you have in Salesforce. For example, you may want to search for a client or perhaps a particular loan record. To search for a client, you could enter a first or last name, a full name, or even an email address. As you begin to type into the search bar, suggested matches of your recently viewed records will begin to appear in a drop-down list. You can select one of these records or click the search button to search your entire database. The search results are returned to us in tables for each object, such as accounts, applications, and contacts. In this example, you can see that there is an account and an application for Tom Lee, and there is also a contact record for Tom Kenya. When we use the search tool, we are searching for whole words, meaning that words containing Tom will not appear in our results. To search for partial words, we can add a wildcard to the beginning or end of our search terms. To do this, let's search again with an asterisk at the end of the name. We can now see that there is also some activity records appearing, and there is another contact called Leanne Tomlin now showing in our results. From our results list, we can open records using the links that appear under the record names. When we look in the applications results, we can see that the application and the account name both have links to records. If we click on this link under the application name, this will take us to the application record. If we click on the link under the account name, this will take us to the account for Tom Lee. Recent items. Salesforce helps us find records that we have recently viewed or created by placing them in lists of recent items. The first place you may notice this is on the home page side panel. This section shows us the 9 records that we have viewed or created most recently and allows us to easily open these records by clicking onto links. The items also have icons to help us identify which records are which. For example, the green man icon represents that this is a lead record, whereas the file icon represents that this is an account record. Recent items also appear on the landing page of each of our Salesforce object tabs. For example, if we click onto our Leads tab, a list of our recently viewed or created leads appears here in the Recent Leads section. If we cannot find the record that we are looking for in the recent item lists, we can search for the record using the search tool. User menu. The user menu is located towards the top right side of Salesforce and is presented with your name. This menu gives you access to your profile, the setup menu, developer console, and is also where you go to log out of Salesforce. Let's go to our profile by clicking on the My Profile link. This section opens up our Salesforce profile in which we can add or change our profile picture, update our contact details, as well as view and use our chatter feeds. Setup panel. The Setup panel is accessed by clicking on the Setup link in the user menu. This is where system administrators can manage changes to the system, such as creating new objects and fields, as well as managing users and security settings. For example, to change a user's email address, we would go to Manage Users, Users, and then click Edit next to the user that we want to change. From here, we can update the email address and other details such as phone and mobile before saving our changes. Application menu. The application menu is located in the top right-hand corner of Salesforce. This menu controls which applications we are using in Salesforce, and by default this will be the ANZ mobile application. The application that you select from this menu will control which tabs appear for you. This means that instead of having all Salesforce tabs available to you at one time, you can ensure that you are only seeing the ones that are relevant to you. For example, if we select the marketing application, we can see that our trails, trail import and rate manager tabs have disappeared, and now the chatter, files and campaign tabs are showing. App Exchange. The App Exchange is a marketplace for Salesforce. It is where you can view and install customized apps for Salesforce in the same way that you would install an app for a smartphone or tablet. We can access the App Exchange via a link on the application menu. When we click on this link, the App Exchange will open in a new page or in a new window. From here, we can browse apps by category such as popular, new apps, or free apps, or we can use the search bar to search for an app by name, type, or provider. For example, if we type Aprika into the search bar, we can see that Aprika has developed 3 apps for the Salesforce App Exchange. If we click onto one of these apps, we can see some more information. To start with, we can see an overview of the app and pricing information. We can then navigate across these tabs to see further details, reviews, and information about the provider. Once you are ready to install an app from the Salesforce App Exchange, you can do this by clicking on the Get It Now button. From here, you will need to log into your Salesforce account and follow the prompts to complete the installation. We recommend when installing apps from the Salesforce App Exchange that you read and follow any installation guides provided, as further configuration within Salesforce may also be required. The application menu also contains links to the Salesforce developer community and success community. These are forums where Salesforce users and developers can come together to share ideas, ask questions, or find help for various Salesforce-related topics. Salesforce tabs and objects. The Salesforce tabs that appear along the top of the page allow us to navigate between different objects and pages. Objects are what we call the different sets or tables of data in Salesforce. For example, leads, accounts, contacts, applications and loans, and trails are all Salesforce objects that contain different sets of records. You will notice that all of these, except for the loans object, have their own tab. Loans, on the other hand, can only be viewed or created via an application record. There are also tabs for custom pages like the Trail Import page and Rate Manager page, as well as for reports and dashboards. The tabs that appear are controlled by your profile and access settings, as well as the application menu. You can add, remove, or rearrange the order of your tabs using the tab menu and clicking on the Customize My Tabs button. From here, you can select a tab from the Available Tabs section and move it over to the Selected Tabs area. And then you can arrange the order of the tabs using the up and down arrows. When we save our tab settings, we can see that the Campaigns tab has now been added to our row of tabs. Campaigns is a standard Salesforce feature, which you can learn about using the Salesforce Help and Training portal. Help and Training portal. The Salesforce Help and Training portal can be accessed using the link at the top right-hand side of Salesforce. Clicking on this link will open the Help and Training portal in a new window. From here, we can search for help and training documentation and videos about standard Salesforce features. For example, we could search about campaigns, sending mass email, or even how to create new fields. Let's search for Getting Started by typing our search phrase in the help box and clicking on the search icon. This has returned a long list of results which we can select by clicking on the links here. We can also refine our search by adjusting the search phrase, or we can filter the search results with the options on the left. For example, clicking on the Videos checkbox in the Document Type section will adjust our search results to only show us videos. Whenever you are unsure of how to do anything in Salesforce, we recommend that you search the Salesforce Help and Training portal as the first step. In most cases, you will find the answers to your questions here.